Hi everyone, my name is Debbie and I'm on the creative design team at Sizzix, and I cannot wait to share with you how to create this adorable paper lantern. The possibilities are endless and you're going to absolutely love it. The fact that these 11 thinlits can create something as adorable as this amazes me every time when I see how a simple little pieces of metal can create something so much fun like this. So let me walk you through it. So what you're going to need is, you're going to need to cut two of these. So you have this panel that has the three sides of the box, and then you also have these. Now these are the little intricate pieces that'll lay inside of these panels here, depending on which one you want. You can have all 6 of them with the intricate design. You can do every other like I've done here, or you can have it completely solid and not lay any of these in here. So I'm going to walk you through it, but all the different dies that you can do can create anything depending on your theme. If you did your little lantern in red and then you use this in green, it could be a big fat holly berry. I mean, how fun is that? Did it solid and did a little tag, just as good. Have it with the stars. I mean, there's so much fun. I love it. So do it in red and have the little stars coming through for a Independence Day event. So this is a great project, great die set, and you're going to absolutely love it. So let me walk you through it. I'm just going to do, just to show you exactly what you need to do to create it, and then just to show you the ways to cut it so you can see how your options would work. And then I'm just going to put it together so you can see how easy it is to put together. So you're going to need 2 pieces. I cut this in 6 inches wide to fit perfectly on my platform here. You remember you want to have the die, the blade against the good side of the paper, and you're just going to rotate it so you can make sure that all the sides are completely covered. The die is over paper. You don't want to have it like this because it'll be caught in your machine. So just make sure the blades are completely over all the paper area and nothing's hanging off of your platform. Another cutting pad on top, and then run it through. So that's ready to go. So there was an option that I could have done when I did it like that. At the same time of laying it onto, hang on, James. We're going to have to edit this because I'm going to cut it through one more time because it didn't cut on that end. So it cut it perfectly. So another option I could have done when I laid this onto my full piece of the orange cardstock, I could have chosen the intricate panel that I want to lay inside. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And I'm going to choose this one here. So I'm going to take that off. Now I'm going to lay it down on here like this. This way I know it's positioned perfectly and I could run it through like that. But if I decide later, oh shoot, I wish I had done that, no worries. Take that off and lay it down in the center, or whichever. You're going to do all of them, then you will do all of them. The one that I did is every other, so I'm just going to show you how to do it in every other. I've already started the other side, so I'm just going to do this last one so you can see how quickly it is. So you're just going to lay it down. If you feel like it's not going to stick down, you have our maker's tape. It's a low tack washi tape or low tack adhesive tape, and I'm just going to stick it down there like that, so that way it won't shift. So even though this is already cut, I can still lay something on there and run it through. Peel that off, and there you have it. You just want to make sure you clean this out with your die brush every time that you use it, because at one point these are going to be filled up inside of the negative space, and then it won't cut through. So each time you do it, you have little poke holes, and you can stick your die pick in there or your die brush and just poke them out, and they fall right out, and then you can continue on with the rest of them. So now that you know how to do that, I don't have to show you how to do all of them. You can do it, like I said, lay it on when you're running it through, so that'll save you time. Lay it down on the cardstock, position it on there like that and run it through, and then like I did before, just repeat for all the panels that you want to have done. So I'm just going to do that one there. I don't need this anymore, so I'm going to put it off to the side. Next, I want to die cut my leaf. I'm only going to do one leaf, so I have my green cardstock. Lay that down with the blade against the good side of the paper. run that through just like you would do any of our thinlits. Get that out with my die pick. And I've got that perfect little leaf. Okay, so I'm done with my machine, so I'm going to put that off to the side. And now I'm going to show you how to assemble it. What I had done is I had taken actually let me cut it so you can see. I had taken the same panel, the main panel, let me get these little pieces out. And this isn't something you have to do, but if you notice, I had taken our stencil film and I had hidden it behind, just so if you do a little lantern, you can do those little battery operated ones. Obviously you're not going to do any actual flame ones, but the little battery operated votive ones. Before you start assembling the box, you're going to tuck that little candle in there, and then you'll have the little glow through the vellum cardstock, or not cardstock, stencil film. So what I did is I just took our stencil film, same idea, and I'm going to go ahead and run it through. Now it's okay if it doesn't fit all the way because I'm only going to use those center little panels. I'm going to snip off the oval area. So if it's not completely covered, that's okay. So that's all cut. Now I'm really done with the machine. Put that off to the side. And then I'm just going to trim these off. I don't need these little loops. And I'm just going to go along the same arch as the circle piece. So since I only did 3 panels with the intricate, I'm only going to have 3 of these. So I've done these earlier, so you don't have to watch me trim and cut all of them. So I have 3 already. I've got my portion of my pumpkin, and this is the other one I had done earlier. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fold and form tool, and this is something that I'm going to do. I'm going to curve it along the actual panels here. Now you could either lay the vellum on there before, you don't want to get caught in there, lay it on before you curl it with the vellum or the stencil film, or you can do it, adhere it onto it afterwards. So either way is just as good. This is a little tight fold and form. This is perfect for all of our flowers and petals. So let me show you how I'm going to adhere that down there like that. I'm just going to take a little bit of our express glue, do a little puddle, and I'm just going to dab a little bit on the top and the sides here, because I just want to make sure it adheres the stencil film onto that so the glow will actually be created when the candle is lit. And it's just going to match up perfectly because it was using the same exact die that you used when you cut the orange part. Get a little more glue so I can do all the other sides. You could use any kind of 3D adhesive that's a narrow strip if you'd like, and that'll be just as good. You don't want to use hot glue because it won't, it'll bubble up and there'll be a little more of a lift. You don't want that. Lay that down there on there like that. You trim that off to the side because I must have done this one upside down because otherwise it would have matched up perfectly. I think this would be cute also if you laid it on the table upside down, maybe because then you wouldn't have the assembly part on top, but at somebody's little spot at a dinner party, and you can use it as a little gift box. Any colors. I'll show you one that I had done in another color, and it's so pretty. Just depending on what color cardstock, the theme of the dinner, the theme of the season of the year. I think that would be so fun to use as a like kind of a little gift box. Here, that one down. Turn that over. Maybe that was upside down. Trim that off. I'm just going to make sure that stays dry. And while that's drying, this is the little leaf that I had cut, and it has a little hole in it. I wanted to snip it just so I can give it a little bit of a dimension in the leaf itself. So I'm going to snip it. And then I'm going to take my fold and form tool because I want it to add a little dimension to the leaf itself. Slide that through. Take a little bit of the glue. And just curve those little tab, that one, since I snipped it, there's now sort of like a little tab on there. And just curve it around like that. It gives it a little bit of a dimension. So it kind of gives it a more of a three-dimensional leaf idea when it's when the ribbon is thread through it. So next I'm going to, while the pumpkin's still drying, I'm going to take my Distress ink. This is the tea dye, so any of the brown ones, just so it'll add a little character to this leaf. Just a little bit. Okay. Let me curl these sides up. Because you want this to give you a little help as you guide it around when you're assembling it. Our fold and form tool is open. The slit is wider at the top, so that's where you'd want to feed it through. And my glue didn't adhere, so let me add it again. I didn't put enough down, apparently. And since it's on the inside, you won't be able to see my messy glue. It's on the inside of the lantern. Okay. So next you're going to want, since I did every other, one panel just has one in the center and the other panel has one on each side. So now I'm going to adhere these two together and the circles will match up perfectly. Use my favorite tool, my finger. I don't want that glue to bubble up, and you just want to match it. You want to make sure the gaps are equal as you can all the way around on there, and then just turn it over to make sure it's all matched up perfectly on that circle base. Let me let it dry for a second. So what you're going to do next is, this will be drying, you'll want to put your votive in here first because you're going to slowly start latching it around itself. So you're going to just start wherever you want to start, but just go in order of latching it together. Now each of these has a slit, so you're just going to latch it on there like this. And just make sure your circle is matched up as you go around. So keep the circle a circle. Okay. I went counterclockwise, but that's okay. As long as you're going in order. Just so the thing doesn't get kind of wonky, you want to make sure you're going in order instead of crossing over the one across from it. And they're all the same circle sizes, obviously, because it's from the same die set, because that means you know that they'll latch against each other. Now, before I do anything else, I'm going to thread the ribbon through it. Now I need to find my hole. I like to do it when it's the majority of the latches are done, just so you can, the ribbon will thread through more of a substantial base. So James, I'm going to pause it so I can find my open area better. Okay, so you can use your die pick or a little skewer or something to just kind of wiggle around so you can find the common, so all the circles will go together so you can so you can thread the ribbon through. And I cut my ribbon to a slight point just so it'll be easier to be fed through. And now I'm going to tie it in a couple loose knots, just so they won't slide through the hole because of the weight of the, if you do have the votive in there, the weight of the votive and then the gravity of it hanging down. So that should be big enough to hide that hole. Snip that off. Okay, so that is ready to go. And now I'm just going to continue on. I can start latching this onto the ribbon now. So another thing you could do is you could completely glue it, each latch as it goes through, but you'd have to tear it for you to be able to get the candle back out when the evening is over. Okay, so you have another option of tying another knot here if you want, putting a dab of glue underneath there, just so it'll stay put. And the knot will just be closer to the base. Got that like that. So if you remember, I cut that little slit here and then brought the other side of it around just to give it a little dimension. So that did decrease the size of my leaf's hole. So I'm going to cut my ribbon in another narrow piece with a point. So that way it'll thread through again. Now with my fingers being a little bit sticky from the glue, it's sticking to my fingers. So let me trim it again because that fuzzy tip was sticking to my fingers. So I'm going to thread that through. Grab that with my scissors. Now I could hot glue this down, but like I said before, it would probably, you'd have to cut open your lantern to get the leaf out, if you, I mean to get the little candle out if you want. But how cute is that? I mean, don't you absolutely love that? You don't need to have a light in there. Maybe the glow from the sun on the outside would be just enough, but have a few of them hanging in your house, have them hanging from different levels of the same one in different colors. Your options of using the different intricate designs are just as fun. Have them hanging from a chandelier at different levels above a table or in the trees outside. I mean, I think this is so much fun, and the colors that you can choose would make such a great theme for any type of home decor. So this is the one that we just made, obviously. And this is one that I had done just to show you what it looks like if you do all the same pattern on all the same panels. How pretty is that? So if you did want to use it for a box, you could put the gift inside and hold it upside down. That way you don't have the workings visible on the top unless you put some type of a bow on top. But just like that, I think it's a really pretty little gift box. And even just at the table, have multiples in a bowl or different levels on a cake stand with the votives inside. I absolutely. How cute was that? And how easy was that? And how much fun are you going to have creating it? We can't wait to see what you create with the paper lantern die set. Be sure to tag us at Sizzix and use the hashtag #MySizzixStory. We can't wait to see what you created. Thanks so much for joining us and have a great rest of your day.